I think I found some great products for us mature skin ladies. Some of these products may not necessarily be new to the makeup world or the skincare world, but they are certainly new to my collection. And I hope that some of them will be intriguing for you and that you can add them to your routine. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So today I wanted to share with you some products I've been trying behind the scenes. You know I'm always on the hunt for wonderful products for us mature ladies. Something that we may have loved years ago and was always working for us may not be the case anymore. Our skin changes, whether we have more wrinkles or our skin becomes drier. We need to find different products to adapt to those changes. So I think I have a nice selection here. I've been really enjoying them and I just wanted to share them with you. Not everything is makeup. There is a couple of other different type of products that I've discovered over the past few months. So a new product I've discovered for around my eye area, and I did see Lisa J using this and it looked quite amazing on her skin. So I thought, well, let me see if I can find it here in Canada. Sometimes we can't get the products here. And sure enough, I did find it. And I will say all the products here that I have to share with you are drugstore products. So it is by the brand Roc. And this is a multi-correction Revive and Glow Eye Balm. Now, when she was demonstrating it on her Instagram, she was showing that she was using it under her eye area, but she had already applied concealer, which I thought was very intriguing because there is some times throughout the day where I would like to revive my under eyes. Sometimes it looks a little dry or tired. So what is very unique about this product is you can apply it over top of your concealer and blend it in, and it doesn't interfere with the makeup that you already have on. So just a stick product. It has a little bit of color to it. Now what I've been doing is first applying it under my eyes. You can see it's clear, weightless. You don't even have to tap it in if you don't want to. But this has helped with my dark circles. They don't appear to be as dark. And it is also supposed to help with puffiness. And I have had some viewers reach out and ask me about puffiness and what sort of products. Well, I would say give this a try and see if it works for you. It does get really good reviews on the website. You can see how my eyes look revived. And what we're going to do as a little experiment is after I've applied all my makeup, I'll show you what it looks like after you apply it on top of your concealer. So I'm just going to let that dry. It is hypoallergenic, it is paraben-free, fragrance-free. And one thing I will say about when I share new products with you that you may not have seen before, and if you want to try them on your skin, I always recommend just giving a little bit of a test area first to see if there's any sort of reactions, especially when it comes to skincare products. Some people are more sensitive than others to certain ingredients. So I always recommend just doing a little test area first before you go in and see if you have any sort of reaction. But hopefully on the camera you can see how my eyes look just more hydrated. What I have found also is it helps my concealer look better throughout the day. Something I forgot to mention is I have all of my skin prepped with all of my skincare ingredients, including sunscreen. And this is a brand that I don't know, I don't reach for a lot, and I don't think it gets a lot of love, but they have some amazing products. And it's the brand Revolution. So I was introduced to this at the drugstore as I was walking by a display of new products. I have been using this one for quite a few weeks now, and I really enjoy it. And I think it's great for mature ladies that have dry skin. It's the Revolution Jelly Primer, but it's a hydrating primer. So you get a decent amount in the package This is 28 mils. It does come as a pump. This is very lightweight. It is a little bit on the runnier side. It smells like watermelon. It does leave my skin a little bit on the glowy side. It is suitable for all skin types, but especially for dry skin. It has hyaluronic acid in it, watermelon extract. It is also cruelty-free and vegan. So you can see how it's leaving my skin radiant, dewy, perfect for makeup application. And you can use your hands to apply it like I just did, or you can even use a brush. But I find I just can get a little bit more control with my hands. I usually let the product sink in for a good minute or so, but it doesn't feel like overly tacky or anything like that. It just feels very soft and supple on my skin. Now I love trying out new eyebrow products. So the one I recently picked up is by Revlon. This is the Color Stay Brow Pencil. Now what makes this one a little bit different than other ones is the angled tip. The only thing that I'm not enjoying about this one is the shade. It only has a shade selection of 5. And I did pick this one up in soft brown. The next jump it goes to is dark brown, which generally are too dark for me. What I would love is if they could come out with an in-between color. So like a medium brown or like a brunette color. I wish that would be kind of in the shade range. So that's the only con to this, but what I was looking for was the formula is quite nice, and I love this angled tip. So what I've been doing is taking the one end of the angle, kind of going below my brow. Like it's very, very pigmented. Like I'm barely putting any pressure on my eyebrows when I'm doing this. And it just deposits the color so easily. And then I take the flat end, and that's what I use to fill in the brow hairs. Now this is one of the products that lasts a long time. It does say 24 hours, but I'm of the mindset that I never leave my makeup on for 24 hours, so I can attest to that. But I really like the precision of the product. So you can see, I mean, it's not overly bad, like the shade for me. It's okay. Like I said, I wish it was just like a tad bit darker. And then what it has is the spoolie on the other end. And I love my spoolies. This one is, I'm going to say decent. It's not like the softest one I've ever used, but it's decent. And I just run it through then with that. But can you see how little effort that took to do my brow? And look at how filled in it looks compared to this side. I guess the word to describe this, it's very soft. The actual pencil is very soft, and it is waterproof. So if you're looking for a pencil that is very quick, then I would recommend this one, because I will say that's one thing that I really enjoy about it, is it very quick, deposits the shade so easily, like I said, and makes quick work of the whole process. And I forgot to show you the shade. So that is the shade right there. That's the soft brown. Moving on. Now at this point, I would go off camera and do a few other products if I'm not showing them, because these aren't part of the 7. But I just had to share this new foundation combination that I've discovered. And you know how I love playing around with makeup and trying different things, mixing foundations with skin tints, and it's just fun to play with makeup and discover new things. Well, I have a combination for you that I think is a match made in heaven. So for the past few weeks, I've been mixing the Maybelline Super Stay, the Lumi Matte Foundation, with the L'Oreal Lumi Le Glow Tint. These two products together are stunning. I can't believe how nice it looks at the end of the night. My skin still looks radiant. It's not settled all into my fine lines. And it's like this product, the L'Oreal, has given the Maybelline just a bit of a boost. So I'll show you. I'll do this on camera. But like I said, it's not part of the 7. But I was just excited to share this with you guys. It is so wonderful. So what I do is mix the Maybelline. And then I take the L'Oreal. And you can see how they're honestly almost identical in color. So the Maybelline is in 118 and the L'Oreal is in shade 120. And I think this is going to look amazing for the summertime. Like, I've been using this on repeat. So I just mixed both of them together on the back of my hand. So it creates that shade. And I usually just start off with about that much. Again, you don't even need to put it like all over your face if you don't want to. You can pick and choose where you want to put it. But I'm just going to show you, I really want to show you what this looks like. So I just go in with a dampened sponge. You can use a brush if you want as well. And one of the nice things about this, like both of them combined together, is you could honestly use your fingers and then just blend it out with a sponge after. But it's been so fun playing around with the foundation and then also with that jelly primer, giving that little bit of luminosity to the skin. And it just looks really nice and light on the face. They're like, neither product feel heavy at all. They feel lightweight, and it's going to give a lighter coverage, which I like in the summertime. I like more of a radiant, dewy look. Nothing too heavy, but certainly use a brush if you do want more coverage. So far, I'll just come a little closer for you. You can see how it's just evened out my skin tone, gives still a radiant look to the skin. It's luminous. So I've just been loving it. Now, this next product was actually a viewer suggestion. It's a very affordable brand. So it's by Wet n Wild, and it is their Photo Focus Concealer. She had mentioned, because I think I was talking about concealers, and she had mentioned in the comment, have you tried the Wet n Wild one? I was like, actually, no. Like, I have some Wet n Wild products, but it's not, again, a brand that I reach for all the time. I do have this one in the shade Light Honey. So on purpose, I'm not going to put any color corrector on because I want to show you, first of all, the product that I have put on, that Roc product, and then also the concealer to show you how it's lightweight, but buildable. And I usually just start in the very corner where I am the darkest. And I bring a little bit up my eye. I'll just do the one side for now. I'm just using my Real Techniques concealer brush. One tip, I think I've mentioned this in other videos before. I let my concealer just sit for about 30 seconds. And you'd be amazed of how much nicer it applies. It's just the warmth of your skin is warming the product up, and I find it just blends way easier and just looks better. So I just start in the corner and just blend it over. And one of the unique things about this one, it's been tested so that it doesn't have any flashback in pictures, and super affordable. I find it looks hydrating under the eye. It doesn't get all cakey, and it looks quite nice. I think if you have mature skin, I think you would really like this one. And then what I do is I just take that sponge again, and I just want to make sure everything's blended because I never take my foundation up under my eye. I find that it's just too many products under the eye can make it look cakey. So I always want to blend the two shades together, the foundation and the concealer. So I just take my sponge. So that was just one coat, but you can see how nice of a job it did on the one side compared to that side. Now, if you want a little bit more coverage, then you can certainly just build up a little bit more in where that darkest area is. But keep in mind, like I said, I normally have to use a color corrector every single day with my concealer. And it doesn't matter what concealer I'm using. I have to use a color corrector. My dark circles are just so dark that I need just a little bit of assistance with a concealer. But what I can do is now on this side, I'll go ahead and put a little bit of color corrector. And then that way you can see the difference with the assistance of a color corrector. So I'm just going to go in with the NYX the Fix Stick in the peach color. This is one of my favorite color correctors from the drugstore. And I just put it right in that dark hollow and pat it in. And again, I let that sink in for a few seconds before I start going in with my concealer. Okay, so now I'll go back in, do the same process on this side, just right where I'm darkest and along the outer part. Like I said, let it sit for a few seconds, let it warm up. Then I'm just going to use that same concealer brush. I'm just going to use the other side of it. Making sure it's all blended. Okay, so now you can see, hopefully, I'll come really, really close. So this side with the color corrector just has a little bit more coverage of my darkness than this side. So if you are somebody that has dark circles, then for sure use a color corrector. But on the other side of when I'm talking about the concealer, you can see how hydrating it looks under the eye. And it's not looking dry or cakey. And it will look like that through the rest of the day. So I wanted to get that onto the skin before we go back in with this, and I'll show you how well this works even on top of makeup. The only other thing I'm going to do is with the little bit of concealer that's left on my brush is I have lots of darkness that actually goes up along the side of my eye. And I'm just going to cover that up a little bit. I normally would use an eye primer, but I'm just doing the quick and easy way today. This brush is nice because it's small that it really gets into that little corner. Now this next product I'm going to show you, I discovered when I was reading an article that was talking about products that are really great for mature skin. It was intriguing to me because it is a product that you can use in multiple different ways. And this is a brand that's actually quite new to me, but it's the brand Jason Wu. And then if you're not familiar with Jason Wu, he is a Canadian artist and fashion designer and also has a cosmetic line. So the one product I picked up is it's called Hot Fluff. It's a lipstick, but it's also designed to be used on your eyes and your cheeks. And when I did a little bit of digging about it on the website, it gets actually really, really good reviews. So I'm always about trying new lipsticks, new products like that, but I love, love, love multitasking products. So what we're going to use this on today is I'm actually going to use this on my eyes because I've been doing that behind the scenes, and I'll show you another product that I've been combining it with. And then I'm also going to use it as my lipstick. I'm not going to use it on my cheek because I have another cheek product that I want to try out. So it's just like a standard lipstick, but the shade is so beautiful. This is the shade Apple Pie. And there is several different shades. I just thought this was the prettiest for my skin tone. I'm always conscious about when you're applying products on your lips and then you're trying to apply products onto your eyes or cheeks and that sort of thing. I'm trying not to contaminate any other areas of my face. So what I've been doing with this is putting it on the back of my hand, and it's very soft. You can probably tell by this that it's matte looking. So I don't mind that at all. I think it looks really pretty on the eye area. And this particular shade is described as a red with neutral undertones. Each shade is actually designed to be universally flattering for all skin tones. So then what I do is I take a brush and I just make sure this is a clean brush, which it is. This is my Anti-Hot and Flashy A503. This is just a really fluffy eyeshadow brush. So I take the product that's on the back of my hand. So I have product on the brush now. And I like just, with summer coming up, I just want a really light look to the eyes. I don't want anything too heavy. So then I take that product and I've just been applying it all over my lid. It can be messy if you want. Like, it is very easy to work with. And with that little bit of concealer on the eyelid, it's just going to help that product adhere to the lid. And I will clean some of this up with concealer. But look at that shade. Like, isn't that just pretty? Very light. Nothing, like, it's not over the top at all. Just a really subtle shade. But what I've been doing, and this is not part of the 7, I just wanted to show you what I've been doing with this shade, is taking my Clarins. This is the Ombre Skin powder eyeshadow, but it's the shade Pearly Rosegold. That is my go-to. And all I do is take, it's just like such a pretty shade. It's just gorgeous. So I take my finger. See just how pretty that looks. But putting it right on the center, just to kind of open up the eye area. And it just gives that color on the eye, just a little bit of extra oomph. Look at that. Isn't that just pretty? Very simple. Like I said, it's just so easy to blend, right? Like you probably saw how much I barely had on. So it's just really easy, fast, easy out the door. And then if you ever do have anything like that happen to you where you just kind of, the eyeshadow is coming farther down than you want it to, I just take a bit of concealer, take that concealer brush, take a little bit on my brush, and I wipe it away. It just cleans up that area quite nicely. Because I find if I don't clean up my eyeshadow, if it does start coming too far down my eye, it makes my eye look quite droopy. So you always see me cleaning up that end. And you can do the same thing too for the inner eye area if you've come too far in. Just use a little bit of concealer and it cleans everything up. Concealer is like a little magic product. Okay, so off camera, I just finished off my eye area. And I also applied some liquid bronzer. My favorite obsession right now is the Rare Beauty, the Soft Pinch Liquid Contour. Love, love, love this stuff. It is just going to be amazing to use throughout the summertime. Such a beautiful shade. I have it in the shade Mellow, but it just gives such a gorgeous glow to the skin. So anyhow, that's not part of the 7. I'm going to be doing a video really quickly here of products that I'm loving so far in the year 2025. So stay tuned for that. One thing I do want to show you real quickly here is how I have no creasing whatsoever under my eye area from the concealer. So the only thing that I did was apply eyeliner, but I had no creasing. Usually by this point, I've had to, take my finger and just kind of gently get the product out of the eye wrinkle. But I have not had to do that with this. That's another thing I forgot to tell you guys. It doesn't do any creasing. So this next product, I'm really excited to show you because I've been loving it. I love the shade. And it's also one of those products that saves me a step. So I'm talking about the Milani Cheek Kiss. This is the Liquid Blush and Glow. So what you can do is use this as a blush, but then it looks so luminous on the skin that you don't need a highlighter. So saves me that step. If you hear banging, I have one of my neighbors across the way is rebuilding their fence. So if there's a little bit of banging going on, but I just have to have my window open a little bit. So this is the shade Pink Cava. So as you can see, it comes as a little squeezy tube. You just untwist and it has a sponge tip applicator. I've been really careful of not getting it too dirty and messy. That's the only thing about sponge tip applicators is they just sometimes get so saturated with product. So I've been very, very careful in making sure, first of all, give it a good shake. And then I gently squeeze it up the top So just a little bit of product comes up the top like that. And then I apply it to the back of my hand. I don't go directly into my face with products. That's just my thing. If it saves you guys a step, then by all means go ahead. That is what it's designed for, is that you can take it and dot it on your face. Just a caution is this is very, very pigmented, but so, so beautiful. So I'm just going to take just a tiny bit more. But see how it doesn't get very messy when you do it that way? So this is very buildable. So now you just take a brush. This is my BK Beauty 112. It's just like a cute little angled blush brush, but you can use it for other things as well. And I just take a tiny bit on my hand. You see how it kind of blends out. And then I just start stippling it on. As I've mentioned lots and lots of times on my channel, I always go in with a little bit and then build it up if I need to. Hopefully you can see the luminosity that it's giving my cheek. I will go in with a little bit more of the product. But even on the back of my hand, can you see how luminous that is? Holy smokes. It dries down really nicely. I find it's one of those products that doesn't just sit on the top of your skin. It actually melts into the skin. It does have glycerin and vitamin E. Milani is a brand that's cruelty-free and vegan. This does not fade throughout the day, and it just looks beautiful. Like, what a gorgeous, gorgeous glow that it gives your skin. It's great for travel because it's just this little tube, and it does have quite a big shade range. Like, I can't believe, just like at the back of my hand, it's so luminous looking. I find even though it has that luminosity to it, it doesn't enhance like any sort of texture that you may have on your skin. Isn't that just so pretty? So I'm loving, loving, loving this product. Now I did just quickly line my lips with my Maybelline Lifter lip liner. Whenever I use a bullet lipstick, I always line my lip, and that way it just helps in it not feathering or migrating into those fine lines. So now we're going to go in with that Jason Wu lipstick. If you do use it on the areas like your cheek, your lips, and your eyes, it will create a really pretty monochromatic look if that's what you're going for. Or just pick up a couple of different shades and you can mix and match, and they all really complement each other. So we'll go in with the lipstick. One thing I do find about this, it's very silky smooth, like a buttery texture. And surprisingly, for a bullet lipstick, it lasts an extremely long time, very pigmented. Go on as a matte, but it actually doesn't look really matte. And then what I do is, once I've applied it, I go back in with my lip liner just to make sure that all the lines are even. So really, really like the shade. It's so pretty. And it really does have that apple pie kind of shade to it. Now, if this is looking too matte for you, then just go in with, I love my little e.l.f. lip oil. This is in the shade Candy Coated. It has a tiny bit of shimmer to it. And I apply it just in the center of my lip. But it will just give a little bit of hydration look to the lips. Okay, so remember how I said I wanted to show you guys after the concealer has now had time to sit, and I want to now go in with that product and show you that you can refresh your makeup under your eye area throughout the day. So all I do is I take the balm. Because it's like an invisible product, you can see it's not disturbing the makeup. But look at how my under eyes now look just a little bit more refreshed. Can you see that they're hydrated? You can take your finger and dab it on, but it did not disturb any of that concealer. So I think that's wonderful, but I think it's just, that's such a great feature. It's travel friendly too, because it's a stick, like a balm formula, so you don't have to worry about it being a liquid. I would normally do this in my bathroom because it's a cleanser product, but I don't really like the filming in my bathroom. I don't like the lighting and it just doesn't look great. So I'm just going to show you the product and a little bit of what it does. So it's the La Roche-Posay. This is the Toleriane Double Cleanser Foaming Gel. What I've been loving about this cleanser is it does two things. It takes away the two-step system that I normally do. So how I was removing my makeup at the end of the night is getting like a balm type of product and removing all of the hard to remove makeup, like your eye area, and also getting rid of like whatever face products I have on, or the like even SPF is sometimes difficult to remove. You just want to make sure all of that's removed. So I would go in with a balm, thicker formula, and then I would go in with a cleanser and remove all of the other like makeup that's on my face. Well, this saves the step of that. This is doing both of those steps. What I was so happy about is it's a great gel foaming cleanser. And usually with foaming cleansers, sometimes they feel like they've stripped your face of any sort of moisture. This doesn't do that at all. This is wonderful for all skin types, even oily skin, but it's specifically designed for people with sensitive skin. So it never feels like your skin is being stripped or irritated. So this is soap-free, sulfate-free, fragrance-free, like there's no fragrance at all to it. What's really nice is it maintains your pH, natural pH balance of your skin. It does have glycerin and also niacinamide in it. When I'm taking off my makeup, I have very, very little residual left. The problem area for me usually is just in my eye area, sometimes getting all of the mascara off. I sometimes have to go and just use a specific like eye makeup remover product. It depends on what like mascara I'm using, what eyeliner I've used that day. But for the most part, this has been removing everything. I highly recommend. I was using the Toleriane, the cream cleanser, which that is great as well. So I hope you enjoyed the selection of products that I showed you today and that I shared with you. It's always fun trying out new products and finding products that are really great for us mature ladies. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you're not already. We are getting so close to 30,000 subscribers, you guys. Oh my goodness, I couldn't have done it without you. But if you aren't already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and that would help me out so, so much. And also giving it a big thumbs up, that also helps the algorithm and helps promote my channel a little bit more. All the products that I talked about today will be linked and listed down in my description box. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!